A stunning admission from Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas this weekend, admitting yesterday that at least 12,000 migrants out of the 17,000 that were under that bridge have actually been released into the United States. That number could get even higher as more migrants are on the way from Haiti. Joining me right now is National Border Patrol Council Vice President and Border Patrol Agent Art Del Cueto. Art, it's great to have you. Thanks very much for being here and for all the work you and your colleagues are doing. Can you assess what is going on right now in terms of the wide open border?
It's chaotic. It's absolutely chaotic. The moves that they have made have opened the borders even more so. The policies or the lack of policies, I guess I should say, has opened the borders even more. The drug cartels are aware of it, the human smugglers, the sex traffickers. I mean, it's just insane. And then to hear them having released all these Haitians, I'll be honest, where they're pushing a mandate on vaccines to different businesses, to Americans, to a lot of Border Patrol agents who have already threatened that they're going to leave if they mandate them to take the vaccine. Yet here we have them releasing these individuals in the United States without checking them for any communicable diseases. Let's put aside COVID, but they haven't been vaccinated for any communicable diseases. You have smallpox, you have tuberculosis, you had hepatitis, you have measles, all kinds out there. And none of these individuals were checked, and they were just pretty much released. And to hear the Secretary Mayorkas talk about it this weekend, it's even more upsetting because he looks at the camera with a straight face and says, you know, we have policies in place that we can control it. There is no policies in place that they can control it. They don't know where these individuals are, and they will not show up to their court case, and they are now free to roam in the United States, and we are not going to know anything about them.
This is absolutely extraordinary, Art. Okay, so what you're saying is that that Joe Biden is lying again when he says that COVID is a priority for this administration. It's actually all about power, telling people what they should do when they should do it. Because if COVID was a priority, you would expect that all migrants coming into the country and being released into the country would be tested for COVID. You're saying there's no testing going on.
The only way they're able to test is if people show symptoms that they feel sick. That's about it. Other than that, people are getting released. And it's not just the Haitians that were released over the weekend, but it's thousands of people that have been getting released since this administration took over. It's not just the Haitians that were released this weekend.
Art, you're on the ground there. Give us a sense of what this chaos looks like for you and your fellow border agents, because we know that 200,000 people have been coming into Texas from Mexico every single month. We're talking about 7,000 people a day. Do the math. So, yes, this was a disaster with 17,000 people under that bridge, but that's just one bridge. Tell me about the ground and what you're seeing, the trek over from these migrants, you know, what you and your border agents are dealing with every day.
Maria, not only is that just in that area, but what people haven't taken notice of is they're moving agents from one spot to another to assist with this chaotic situation in Del Rio and this chaotic situation in certain parts of Texas. So they'll move them from the northern border, they'll move them from Arizona, and there's still big groups getting caught in Arizona. We don't know what's coming in through the northern border. So that's what the problem. When you're seeing the numbers, those are just the numbers that we know of. What's scary is the numbers we don't know of that, you know, the drug smugglers, that as I said earlier, they know when agents are moved, they know that there's gaps. That's when they take advantage. When huge groups come across and it preoccupies agents to deal with that situation, they're very much aware. They're seeing, they have scouts in the United States that they're watching the agents' movement. That way they can get their products across. That's how chaotic it is right now.
Wow. So in other words, you mentioned the northern border. In other words, that's the border with Canada. You're moving agents from the northern border because you need help on the southern border, and that makes the northern border vulnerable. So this is one of those cycles that can get out of control, Art. You mentioned the drugs, the illicit fentanyl, heroin, all the drugs coming in. Tell me about that, and do you feel that these illicit drugs have increased in terms of the Mexican cartel saying, well, we can jam this in now because nobody's watching, and are they using this as an opportunity to jam in things like fentanyl? And by the way, why bring fentanyl into America? What is fentanyl used for? Even a small amount of fentanyl will kill somebody.
Right, and that's why they're taking advantage of it, because you can transport a small amount, make more of it as you cross into the United States. So they take very much advantage of that, and they know that. The drug cartels, you know, pretty much the drug cartels control that entire border area, and they say what comes through and what doesn't come through, including these large groups of illegals that are crossing.
And real quick before you go, Art, are you expecting more Haitians on the way? Because there's a lot of conversation about an organization organizing of other migrants to come on the heels of the 17,000 that were just, or 12,000 that were just released into America.
You know, it could be people from Haiti, it could be people from Colombia, it could be people from Cuba. They're coming from all over the place. You just don't know. And like I said, the drug cartels are the ones that are controlling it. They're the ones that know what they're doing. And it's also they can get their own product across when they preoccupy the agents.
Just extraordinary that the Mexican cartels are the ones who are deciding who comes into America. Wow. Art, good to see you. Thanks for all of your work on this. Art Del Cueto at the southern border this morning. We'll be right back.